Right guys, back again. Now we're going to have a look at testing some water parameters, and if you've looked at any of these videos you'll know that I purchased the pool starter kit, the smart digital water testing system, exact iDip. This is the one with the Bluetooth connectivity and the app that runs on either an Android or iPhone. I have the app already installed. Don't know whether you're going to be able to see this. Yeah, there's a bit of a clash with the screen refresh rates as far as I can see on the LCD. Maybe it's not recording that way, but so there are, when you install the app and buy this system, there are a number of free parameters, and they are listed on the app. And yeah, well, there's another problem with my phone at the moment, because since I dropped it a few days ago, that's just crashed and stopped. So we're just going to go into manual test again. So there's a lot of free tests, but hopefully you'll be able to see here I've paid £2 or £3 for extra tests, and they are specifically for spa testing. So we've got spa pH, spa free chlorine, spa calcium, spa total alkalinity, and they are slightly different because of the temperatures that we're operating at. You know, if you wanted to measure normal water pH and chlorine, you'll be using the other free non-spa tests. So we are just going to open this up, and I've already shown this, I think. You have instructions in the lid, which cover everything. There is an instruction manual with it. Sorry, this is a bit wobbly. I've got the tripod, one leg on the steps and two on the conservatory ledge, but they're full instructions here, but it is pretty straightforward. I have had an issue with the combined chlorine test, and I've got to speak to the company that sold this just to get some clarification on that. It comes with a number of strips for testing. They are sort of trial quantities, I think 25. The most used ones are going to be the pH, and actually I'm not getting this on screen, am I? Sorry guys. The pH testing and the chlorine, free chlorine levels are the most important on a sort of daily basis, and we're going to test those now if the phone will let me. I'm just going to try and turn this slightly without the tripod falling over. Okay, so you can start the app up and then press the 0 on button. Hopefully you're going to be able to see that. I know we've got the sun here today, so that is just telling you what the last reading was. Hopefully you can see it okay. So the Bluetooth symbol is missing from the display at the moment. That's because it's not synced to the app. So we're going to go back to the menu. We're going to click on Bluetooth test, and it's going to do a scan, and it will try and find the device. Normally it finds it instantly, but it's not for some reason. So what I'm going to do is try and force close the app and start again. So I'm going to close everything down, just run the iDip. It's loading settings, loading algorithms, loading the database, and we'll try for test. Bluetooth device. It's scanning. And strangely, I'm not finding the device, which is very strange, it's certainly never done that before. Normally that's a pretty much instant thing. Although you don't need to turn the Bluetooth on normally, I'm just going to turn it on in case there's been some problem with that. There we go, yeah. You do not have to turn the Bluetooth on usually, it kind of does that for you. But anyway, once it's found the device, it will say there's the device, tap on it to connect, it's connected, the Bluetooth symbol should be in the display, hopefully you can see that. At this point you can click on select a test, and I'm interested in Spa pH, and that will then switch the display to pH. Again, hopefully you can see that. So at this point it's ready to go. We're going to take our chemical strips, we're going to take one out, just put it on the side, put that back. Right, again, try and do this so you can see what's happening. So the device is ready, you just need to dump that in, give it a little rinse, make sure it's filled. I tend to put it into a darkened position, or at least cover the thing with my hand. I'm just going to press 0, and the display is flashing 3 minuses, and then it's a 0 parts per million, and as soon as you hit the read button it's going to give you a 10-second countdown. In that time you've got to dunk the strip and wiggle it around. I'm trying to do this so you can see it, and then as soon as that's done I'm just going to cover it up again. You have got the plastic cap for that, and the pH is I'm just going to tip this out, give that a quick rinse. You'll see that I'm trying not to drop this on the electrics. Hopefully you can see there that the pH is 7.5, which is pretty near spot on. That has now been transferred to the phone. Again, don't know whether you can see that. You can carry on taking more tests now, or if you want you can hit results and select save. If you haven't selected a customer already, you can select the customer, which is me, Trevor, and site is the spa, and then click save, and that's saved successfully to the phone. Now the next important test is going to be chlorine. So we go back to the main menu and Bluetooth test, select test, scroll down, excuse me, to spa chlorine free. That says sync successful. If you look at this, the display now, it's going to say, if we can see it, chlorine 1. So at this point we'll get out our test strip. I haven't done this test this morning, so I'm expecting the chlorine levels to be quite low. So now we're going to just rinse this out again. Just put a bubble there. Just going to hide that from the sun and click 0. Again, you can use the cap if you want, but I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. So that is now zeroed, and we are going to hit the read button, and again you've got 10 seconds to be wiggling the stick. Actually I can see this going quite pink, so I don't think the chlorine level is as low as I was thinking. Just going to cover that from the sunlight, and yeah, it's lower than I want. It's at 2.11, which is within the 1.5 to 3, but I want it between 3 and 5. I'm just going to rinse that out, and for today's testing that's going to be a vat. So all you need to do then is just quickly wipe the unit over, there is a small brush supplied that you can just gently clean out the testing reservoir that lives in the bottom there, and just pop that back in there. So you can see again, let me just change this so I can see the screen. Hopefully you can see that now. It's saying spa chlorine free, 2.11 parts per million. I'm not happy with that, so we're going to put a little dose of chlorine in, and we click on results, click on save, saved results, and that's pretty much it. You can then, on the history, which it automatically went to, you can use this plus symbol and you can look at all of the spa history. So yeah, 23rd, which was 25 past 11 last night, we had 2.81 parts per million, pH 7.8, 5.09 parts per million of chlorine. That was on yesterday about 5, and all the results are there from day 1, which is pretty useful. You can actually add notes to whatever you're storing. You can add multiple customers if you're a spa cleaning maintenance guy. You can have multiple customers, multiple sites. You can buy any of the required premium tests direct from the app, and the range is pretty high. I'm already looking. There's no prices against the ones I've already purchased, but as an example, the spa bromine price is £2.94, and I think most of the spa ones were around that price, between £2 and £3 I think, tops. So that is pretty much that. We're also interested in the total dissolved solids, and what we're going to do is use this HM digital TDS meter. It also tells us the temperature. Just going to turn that on. We're going to pop in the little reservoir and test for that. So we've got a temperature of slowly going up. Just going to let that settle. But the TDS level is already at 550. It's gradually going down. Yeah, so it's still going down. So I would say the TDS parts per million are probably about 540, 530, 540. The temperature that this is reading is 35.2, and the TDS originally from the tap water was 320, 330, as I recall. So it's gone up a bit in that past week. Well, it's a little over a week now. So you can see that that's gradually going to sneak up. There's absolutely nothing you can do apart from partial water changes or complete water changes to lower the TDS. So yeah, once it gets up to about 1200, I think it's going to be time to change that. Now, the company that supplied the exact iDip for me have also sent a loan of their more basic spa only tester. It doesn't link to your phone or anything, or at least I don't think it does. I think it is just a standalone meter where you select one of 4 or 5 tests directly on the menu, and we'll be having a look at that because that is substantially cheaper than this one. So yeah, that's just a quick look at that. As I mentioned, there are other tests. We've got calcium hardness, combined chlorine, total alkalinity, and this cyanuric acid, which is not really for spas, it's more for pool use, because I think that's a chemical they can add to boost the effectiveness or the stability of the chlorine. But yeah, this works really well. The app crashes sometimes, as you just saw, had to be reset. Generally, you do not have to have the Bluetooth on, and in fact, I'm just going to try that again now. I've just turned Bluetooth off, just going to run the app, turn this on, and we'll just run the program Bluetooth test. We're just going to do a scan. This is going to make me out to be a complete liar now. Yeah, no, see, I don't know whether you can see this now, but the Bluetooth symbol is not on. This has overridden it, but it doesn't display the Bluetooth symbol, but it is now connected, but it's crashed again. Oh dear. So I think they've got to do some work on the app. I'm not going to blame the app completely, because I know there's a crack in the screen of my phone and it is causing a couple of issues. But we're going to try again. Connect to that device, and yeah, it's connected this time. Bluetooth symbol's lit. It says it's connected there, and we are good to go. So it's not the most stable app, but for me it's so helpful. It's it's an absolute must. So that's it. Quick look at that. Quick look at the TDS, and and how some of these tests actually work. Hope that was useful. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes on a, for me, 3 times a day basis. I'm just going to pop a little bit of granulated chlorine in. Probably only needs a quarter of a capful, and that will keep it going till this evening when we use it. And I'll give it an extra half capful overnight, and back to testing again in the morning. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.